Yo, welcome to the Box Seats, the show where I get kicked out and I'm hosting today. This don't make no sense. Welcome to Box Seats. My name is Dave Anderson, the business bully. Nothing but comedians talking about sports with absolutely no real knowledge. Let's go ahead and introduce the impeccable dais. Ladies and gentlemen, the icon himself, Mr. Talent Harris. Talent, what's going on, homie?
Salute, King. I'm here for all the smoke.
I know that's right, man, and the Heineken. It's good stuff. The dude who needs no introduction, but definitely needs some lotion. Rodney Perry, what's happening?
Hilarious. Hey, I was just about to masturbate, so you hit it on the head.
Literally.
Oh my God. Paul, you hit it on the head.
Oh man, our firecracker bean pie light-skinned brother Fig, what's going on with you, homie?
What up, Dave, man? This thing has started off with a bang already.
Yes, sir. Now, we're gonna kick this thing off, man. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but SportsCenter anchor Sage Steele is suing ESPN, saying that the network violated her free speech rights. Sage Steele, of course, who is black, said that her career was illegally retaliated against because she made comments on a podcast saying that Barack Obama, although he identified himself as black, was raised by white people in Hawaii. So she questioned his blackness. Wow. I want to start off with Talent. Talent, what is your take on Sage Steele trying to sue, saying that she got diminished roles at ESPN because of her comments about Obama?
Good for her. But I would have fired her ass. I wouldn't even diminish. I would have fired her ass and made her do an overnight radio show in Hawaii. Dirtbag. No, I mean, see, here's the thing. Why is it that certain people only want things and people to be held accountable when it's certain people? Then when it falls on you, oh, this is too much. Oh, I got to sue. My livelihood is at risk, and whatever. You said it. You make your bed, and you got to lay in it. That's why, as a comedian, everything I say, I mean. You know what I mean? Even when I'm playing or I'm going hard at somebody, I say it because I mean it, and I'm ready to defend what I say. It may not be up to everybody's liking. Damn, God knows everything gonna be politically correct. I'm 50 years old, so I'm still saying I'm dropping F-bombs sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Yo, gay dude right in the front row. I said, yo, you my fag. I was like, no disrespect to the real ones. And he took that and he understood that, and we moved on. It wasn't a homophobe thing. It was a play on words with comedians. Now, when you sitting there as an announcer and you play on them words, you don't have that same leeway as a comic. A comic could always fall back on it was the joke, and it's deeper than that. It's not. I'm not being with no offense, but you are on ESPN. And you're going after a president who ain't do nothing to you. You question his blackness. Here's the bigger question, Dave.
Yeah.
Why are we questioning somebody's blackness?
I have no idea. Uncle Rodney, do you think that this had more to do with her poking fun at the former president than maybe the whole situation about her calling the vaccine mandate sick? What's your take, Uncle Rodney?
I mean, Sage Steele is super conservative, man, and she's been coming under fire a couple of times this year, and then other black people don't like her, so I get it. And on top of all that, she's just super light skinned, so I think that Sage probably while she's probably going to sue, it's probably going to get no traction.
That's what's up. Well, I mean, since you brought up, super light skins, let's go to the super sub light skins. The Puerto Rican phenomenon, Michael Sean. What's up, homie? Your take?
Jay-Z said it. I thought this was America, people. It's not.
Yeah.
You can't. We've turned into a version of America that isn't the same. I don't agree with Sage Steele, but I think she has the right to say it without her role being diminished. Just like I felt Jamil Hill, who was absolutely correct when she put them tweets out about former President Donald Trump, didn't deserve to get her position diminished over her opinion and comments. But ESPN is notorious for this. If you don't fit the Disney protocol on what they want, you don't even know what it is that they're for anymore. You don't
They
even
know.
know. You don't even know exactly what it is. If you can't go at Obama and you can't go at Trump. So you can't really. I don't know
Leave the president alone.
Just
Yeah,
whoever the
see,
president is.
but see, that's my
Whoever it is.
problem. Once you start saying you have to leave the president alone, we're no longer America. We're no
But you supposed to
longer.
be talking sports, though. Don't you, Mike Sean?
But unfortunately, there's a time in this country where sports gets overridden, even on ESPN. And when Jamil Hill started making comments about Donald Trump, it was because of Black lives. It was because of racism. And if that was the case, then Jackie Robinson and Muhammad Ali and those guys should have just played sports.
They didn't say that about the president.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali said plenty about the president. He said plenty about the president.
That's the truth. Well, let's
Muhammad Ali
find out.
don't work for ESPN either, though.
No, I get it. I get it. So we know what the rules are. The rules are that you're going to be censored. And if we go along with that, then we're no longer dealing with freedom of speech.
Well, speaking of freedom of speech, real quick,
there's always freedom of speech. I mean, you had a right to say it. You just
here they go.
There's ramifications for your words.
All right, Fig, what do you got, homie?
You know, when you work for a corporation or you work for the plantation, they can pretty much do what it is that they want to do to you, and your only recourse is to do what Sage Steele is doing, is to sue. You only can go political when it suits their agenda. The people, Disney, who actually run ESPN, if they're aligned with the president of the United States, and you say something about them or the president of the United States, then you're basically attacking who they're affiliated with. So I see why they're coming down on Sage Steele, but at the end of the day, how come the truth in America is taboo? That's what I don't understand. Why are we trying to legislate the truth? Like when they try and talk about race theory and stuff like that, why can't we just finally, for once, tell the truth? Why do we have to get fired for doing that?
You know what?
Get fired. Well, Jamil ultimately got fired, but
somehow she's doing just fine. Sage Steele, on the other hand, we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but something smells funny in Turpentine. Police are investigating alleged allegations that multiple members of a college baseball team were poisoned with paint thinner in a water cooler. The alleged poisoning occurred on Sunday with a game between Kansas Wesleyan University and Bethany College, and it appears that at least 7 people drank the tainted water, 6 of them affiliated with Kansas. My Kansas Wesleyan, to be specific. My question to you, is this Flint, Michigan all over again? What's going on, Talent? What say you?
Yeah. It looks exactly like that. And here's the thing. When the Flint story broke, if you really read into it and did due diligence and research, it was a number of cities and towns that had the same problem. Flint was just the biggest one to come out and, get the first shine, so to speak, and the advocate and the class actions and all that. But if you look into it, it was like 90 something other little towns across the nation that were going to be follow up on because of reports of contaminated water structures. So I think this is a Flint situation all over again. I kind of was expecting for it in the last 4 or 5 years to slowly start to unravel. I guess we're seeing it.
Wow. So, like for you, Uncle Rodney, when you hear that college baseball has a situation where people are being poisoned with paint thinner in the water cooling, you just drink that fresh bottle of spring water. What's your take?
I don't know nothing about this story. Is it tied to baseball? Is it somebody cheating, trying to poison their opponent? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, they're saying that they spiked the water cooler.
Jesus.
Hey, man, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win, man. Sometimes you got to kill the opponent.
What are you, Ric Flair? Michael Sean.
No. Yo, baseball's an odd bunch, yo. Baseball's an odd game. Like I don't even know how to. I guess you got to find out who did this. Like, whoever did this, what are you doing? Like, you're trying to actually now kill the opponent?
Hey, gotta go.
Like, gee, like, I don't even know how to comment on something so stupid and ridiculous that somebody's trying to poison some baseball players that we know nothing about. Not that it would make it any better. We knew who they were, but this is bizarre, man. It's a weird country we're living in, dog.
Fig, is baseball that competitive where people have to poison people with paint thinner in their water coolers?
Hey,
Jesus.
No, people are that sick. You know, if you can't beat them, poison them. How about that? Like, damn, really? That's an assault. What if somebody dies? Like, you don't know what kind of health issues that people are dealing with. Like, some people that play sports are actually on some kind of medication and stuff like that so they can keep their body, you know, at a certain level that they can participate. There are a lot of athletes. There was an athlete in the NBA. He was diabetic. And there was another one who's at like JaVale McGee is asthmatic. Sometimes you see before he goes in the game, he grabs his inhaler and takes a couple of shots so he can maintain, you know, his lung functions while he's on the court. What if you poison the water and somebody drinks it and they have pre-existing health conditions and you kill them? Like, what is wrong with you? It's a damn game.
That's all it is. Yeah.
That's all it is. It's too hectic. All right, here's the thing. Andre Iguodala, former 76er, Golden State Warrior, has been ruled out of Game 5 of the Warriors' first-round matchup against the Denver Nuggets with a left cervical disc injury. He'll be reevaluated in 1 week, meaning he will miss the remainder of the Warriors series against the Nuggets and possibly the start of the second round. What do you guys think is going to happen in the second round? I'll start with you, Talent.
Well, I think the second round, I think that Golden State's going to cruise through the second round. I think that Fig hit this on. I said this like at the beginning of the playoffs, coming out of the regular season. Certain teams are just kind of getting their mojo right at the beginning of going into the playoffs. I think Golden State's at the top of that list, so I think the second round won't be that affected. You know, even though you got people that won't be available, and you got these injuries. It looks across the board. Injuries across the board right now. If you look at all the teams and all the series, so it's kind of leveling itself out. But Golden State, they just look determined, bro. I don't think it's going to have a huge effect at all.
All right. Michael Sean, your take on Iguodala and Golden State's performance moving forward in the second round?
If it wasn't for the fact that they are probably going to, well, they do have to either play Memphis or Minnesota, I wouldn't say it was a big deal, but they're going to need all their defensive players against these young boys. Now, I think Golden State's going to be, I don't think Minnesota or Memphis is ready mentally to beat Golden State in a 7-game series. But I do know Steve Kerr wants all those glue pieces that he has in the Draymond Greens, especially, and Andre Iguodala's. Andre may score 6 or 7 points. Andre plays a role on he knows how to play defense with Golden State. He knows how to make a big shot in the playoffs. He's not scared of taking a big shot. Now, I still think these young, I think they will miss Andre Iguodala because these young guys are throwing, they're going 100 miles an hour, and that that lineup that they've thrown at everybody else isn't going to be as easy against 22-year-olds. Like, they're small too. So it's a bunch of 6'5", 6'6" athletic guys going back and forth. I think they'll win a 7-game series, but I do think they want Iguodala in there. And Kerr would rather have him in there. I would say that.
All right, Fed. Question for you: when it comes to Golden State, just stay on Golden State for a minute. That fourth quarter was shaky. They had to rally. You know, Steph Curry did put up 30 points. Do you agree with Michael Sean that this is a matter of like Golden State just having the California curse of starting to be a little bit too old in comparison to these youngins? Do we need ARP out here?
Not really, because they haven't crossed that threshold over into being on the downside where Father Time is taking its toll on them. If they're healthy, they're going to do some serious damage to whether they play Minnesota or Memphis. Because I'll say this: you got one team that allowed themselves to be down 20, but they came back, and then they allowed themselves to be down 20 again, and then they came back, and then on the other side, you got the other team who allowed a team to come back from being down 20. Golden State got veterans. If they get you down by 20, you're going to come back, but you're going to come back the next day because this game is going to be over.
Speaking of game over, what do you guys think of what happened with the Bucks and the Bulls? 116-100. It looks like the Bucks are going to face the Celtics. Talent, what say you?
One word: collapse. You know, they collapsed in the heat of the moment, man. And you can't do that with these dudes trying to repeat. Yeah. They on a mission, man. Middleton's out. and they acting like the dude never existed. You got people stepping up. You got Greek free. I mean, this dude is going coast to coast on asses. Like it's ugly out there. And I think that when you start like that, if you're lucky, you get basketball is a game of runs. You get to go back and forth. If you're lucky, they was not lucky at all, bro. It was just like, they just never stopped kicking their head.
Yeah.
You ever see a real bad ass woman? It's always gonna be some woman in public. Leave him alone. That's enough. They never. There was no lady that jumped out there.
Nobody doing it. They needed to hire a lady on the sideline.
Bro, it was so bad. I just locked my front door in the fourth quarter. I felt threatened.
Oh my goodness, Uncle Rodney, Giannis was killing it. Do you think that we are starting to see a person that's coming into his own to the point where he's going to be in the GOAT conversation in a few years down the line?
I don't see why not, man. I mean, you got to think. You look back at LeBron and his physicality, and LeBron is a foot shorter than this guy. And I mean, the guy is. I mean, he went to the basket last night on what would have been a charge for anybody else. But I mean, he's just trucking people out there, dude. It's really impressive. They was able to wall him out last year and the year before. That stuff is not working anymore. He's finger rolling from the free throw line. The dude is freaking incredible, man.
That's crazy. Fig, Bobby Portis, 17 rebounds. Your take on what's happening with the Bucks at this point?
Man, the one thing that I'm sorry about is the fact that the Knicks let Bobby Portis out of New York, boy. Bobby Portis is playing this. Listen, the thing about Milwaukee, they're a big team. They're a veteran team. They've been through the war before, and they're used to it. They're not shaking and not afraid of anything. You got people on the other side talking about Boston is going to take this whole thing, man. I'm like,
who said that?
You got to go through Milwaukee first. They are literally, Rodney, I kid you not, on social media, they are saying that Jason Tatum, I didn't say it, is better than LeBron James. I'm like, y'all have lost your mind. This kid won one playoff game. One. LeBron James is probably one of the most decorated, best players in the NBA history. And Jason Tatum, after one playoff game, is better than LeBron. You have lost all of your marbles.
Wow. Well, we don't want to do that because somebody could slip and fall. It'll be a Home Alone situation. Mike Sean, I want to get your take on this. The Phoenix Suns have some great news about Devon Booker. It looks like he's going to be back. It could be back as early as Game 6 against the Pelicans. How does this help the Suns at this point, or does it?
Oh, does it help? Jesus, I wouldn't even rush him back. If you can, I would say I would let him get another game off. I know you want to close the Pelicans out, who are very good. Sometimes I contradict myself because I know you want to end this series. I know you don't want to play with the Pelicans and make this a one-game elimination thing. So I get playing Devin Booker, but to answer the question, that's a huge advantage for Phoenix to get Devin Booker back. To have a two-way player like that who has that ability offensively and defensively, and to take the pressure off Chris Paul, who's been playing incredible. To take that pressure off of Chris Paul just has to be the quarterback and direct traffic. Their big men are playing. Yeah, that's a huge game for Phoenix if they can get Devin Booker back.
What's up, Talent? What do you say? Devin Booker, game changer?
Of course he is. That's without doubt. I mean, they can't wait because, like Mike said, you don't want this thing to drag out and be a more interesting series than it needs to be. We all know on paper, if everybody's healthy, it ain't. You know what I mean? But again, we got to see. Devin Booker's the difference maker for Phoenix, and it's the difference in them continuing their quest to go back to the chip or not.
That's what's up. Uncle Rodney, do you think we're going to see a Game 7 on Saturday, or are we going to wrap this thing up tonight with Devin Booker with the Suns versus Pelicans? What's happening?
I mean, we'll probably see a game 7. I mean, the crazy thing about these two teams, they're really evenly matched, especially without Devin Booker on the floor. The Pelicans start looking really good, and the Phoenix Suns start looking really bad. Devin Booker is just so good, man. He really is dark skinned, and I think that is really propelling them forward in the league, man. I mean, the guy, he looks light skinned, but he's absolutely dark skinned, probably.
So he's transpigmented. Fig, what do you have to say?
Oh my God! I'll tell you this: if the Phoenix Suns need Devin Booker to beat the Pelicans, they should start making their reservations for vacation already, because that's a problem. If you cannot beat the Pelicans without Devin Booker, you are in trouble, because it just gets harder from here.
The Pelicans, can I just say something real quick? Because I know Frank doesn't like debating.
Please.
The Pelicans in a 7-game series can beat any team in the Western Conference. They have that much talent. I'm not saying they have the experience, but they got that much talent. And I just hope that Zion Williams is watching this from a distance and going, God, if I was on that team, if I was playing on that team right now, there'd be some smoke that nobody wanted. That's all I want to say about that.
All right, that's what's up. Speaking of talent, did you know that Donovan Mitchell's playing tonight? For those of you who don't know, Donovan Mitchell plays for the Jazz. He's going to be available tonight against the Dallas Mavericks in Salt Lake City. What do you think, bro? Who's got it?
Well, I'm good for him. You know what I mean? Good that he feels that he could play and get out there, because we all know that even sometime as a decoy, your top players, whether they're 100% or not, just out there as a decoy makes the defense move a certain way. And I think with him, joining a team for this game, that's exactly what that's going to be. I don't expect them to be high flying over the rim and doing no spectacular stuff too much, but I expect them being a difference maker out there by just being on the floor. That's good news.
Cool. Uncle Rodney, Jazz, game 6 in Salt Lake City with the Mavericks. Donovan Mitchell's playing. Your take?
They done. Utah's done. Get out of here.
No chance at all.
Mitchell was happy to be hurt. He was like, "Oh, so I'm out."
He said, "Get out of here.
Get out of here, man. It's a wrap. Get out of there.
Get off your TV.
Get off my TV now."
Fig, do you have a dissenting point of view in this?
Rodney sound like the old dude talking about get off my lawn. That's
please get off my lawn. Cut it.
Donovan Mitchell, look, he's gonna make a heroic effort to come back and help his team, a la way back in the day. For y'all are old enough to remember, my man, the captain in New York, Willis Reed, when he came back dragging his leg from an injury and mentally motivated the Knicks to win a championship. That's how long ago that was. I think that's what Donovan Mitchell was going to do. Talent's absolutely right. Most recently, Scottie Pippen was having back spasms and back pains and stuff like that. He ran out there for a game as a decoy, and the Bulls ended up winning another championship. But with Cool Hand Luke in Dallas, whether Donovan Mitchell comes or not, I'm with Rodney. I think they going home, man.
This is interesting. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but J.R. Smith, 16-year NBA veteran J.R. Smith is at NCA&T, and he joined the golf team as a walk-on. Now in his second semester at the HBCU, the two-time NBA champion is already earning accolades in the classroom. On Monday, the 36-year-old, who was originally slated to play basketball at North Carolina before jumping to St. Benedict's Prep in New York in the NBA draft in 2004, was named the Aggies Academic Athlete of the Year. Wow. Uncle Rodney, does this give you hope for a second career as a stripper?
You know what? It's crazy you would bring that up, Bully, man. That's always been, one of the things that I've been kind of working on for some time now. And, there's always room for another career, man. And I got this. I want to show y'all this stretcher I got. And, you don't need to know what it does, but it'll stretch you out, man. And and not be afraid to. So just in case somebody grab it, you want them to grab something substantial, and so I've been working on that, man, and I got this.
leather
It's a
conditioner.
leather conditioner, yeah, and you believe it or not, it's better than lotion because it kind of stiffens up your wherever you put it.
Okay, well, leather is cow skin, and leather can get weathery. Yeah, I have a question for the panel. I want to start with Michael Sean on this. I don't know if we need to start the clock, and this is not me being a Sixers fan, but I just want to put this out here. If the Sixers lose to Toronto, is it safe that we need to start a job opening watch for Doc Rivers as well as a suicide watch? Michael Sean, what say you?
No, because somehow, some way, Doc will get another job. Doc is the anti what black coaches normally go through. Doc gets the opposite treatment. He'll get another job. I knew the Sixers were in trouble when Doc had a press conference and said, I know y'all keep saying I blew all these leads, but y'all didn't know the whole story. Once you start trying to explain the whole story, there's trouble in paradise.
Right.
Because you are listening to what's going on and some truth is being spoken. Dog, you're a Hall of Fame coach. Things happen. You explaining what happened with the Orlando Magic when you had Tracy McGrady in his prime, or you trying to explain how you blew 3-2 and 3-1 leads have nothing to do with what's going on with your Sixer team. And I find it hard to believe that a veteran coach got sucked into that pause and allowed himself to start explaining his past. Doc, listen, if you lose this 3-0 series, you're going down in the history books, whether you go in the Hall of Fame or not. Don't lose this 3-0 lead, dog. You will be infamous forever. You'll still be in the Hall of Fame. Don't do this to yourself. That's all I'm saying, Sixer fan.
So, Talent, Doc Rivers blowing more leads than a salesperson at Pornhub. What is your take on whether or not he... Yeah, put it together, Mike. What is your take on whether or not he has a job at the end of the season?
Well, first of all, shout out to Rodney trying to dive into my old work lane.
Hey, they still talking about you out here in these streets.
I know. Hit me up. You need any connects? You know what I mean? I got everybody from Lisa to to my man on trial, Ron Jeremy. Anyway, so here's the thing.
Did he shout out Ron Jeremy?
Doc Rivers. I just said I got the connect. That's all. I didn't, I didn't shout about. I'm just letting you know I'm connected, Mike.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Mike, you need to think about what Ronnie thinking about because we could use more of our Hispanic brothers and sisters in the business. Anyway, what I'm saying is this. Here's the thing. Rodney, call me if you need a connect. But here's my thing. You're 36 and somebody checking your homework, you know what I mean, as far as Smith goes. And then with Doc goes, Mike is right. Doc is going to land on his feet. It's something about that raspy voice that the white people like. I'm telling you, it's something about what Doc on there. You know what I tried to tell him? We're gonna hang in there, we're gonna rebound it. It's something about that. He's like 2 octaves from Mutombo. You notice that? If you give him a little twang in there, 2 octaves down. No. You're right there. So it's something about Mike is right. He will land on his feet because I don't really necessarily think – I think people look for a good coaching, Doc. I don't think they go and say we're going to get a championship, but they want a good coach. And Doc is a good coach. He gets to those big pinnacle moments, and he kind of like I said, more than Pornhub, he blows a lot of that stuff away. But how many coaches are even getting to the pinnacle that he can get you to?
Fair point. Fig, what say you? Do you think that there's a possibility that Doc Rivers will not be the 76ers coach at the end of the postseason?
I think the Lakers are already courting Doc Rivers. So if he loses this, he'll probably be the next head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Like Mike said, Doc Rivers is always going to land on his feet. And at the end of the day, I know the coach could really, put the X's and the O's out there. But when are we going to start putting some of the blame on the actual players? Because don't you have anything inside of you to say this team is not going to beat me 4 times in a row? Can we talk about the players? We're going to put all of this on the coach? Everything? The players would take no responsibility whatsoever. That's sad, man. I think that's just sad.
Rodney Perry, Fig brings up an excellent point. Do you think it has to do more with the players than it does Doc Rivers' inability to seal the deal as a aspiring porn star? What's your take?
Doc Rivers should be sued for malpractice. Okay,
Because he's Doc.
he should be no longer a doctor.
Malpractice. What? Malpractice.
I said it before he went to Philly that he was a problem. It's always him. It's Doc. Okay, it starts with his hair and it goes down.
That's not hair.
Okay, Doc needs to be removed. No. Don't Perry hand me. Doc is a loser.
God. Oh my God.
Doc is a Hall of Fame caliber loser.
He's the best of the worst, Uncle Rodney. So do you want him in LA?
He is horrible. He failed his son. He couldn't coach his son, for God's sake.
Oh my God.
So you don't want him to go to the Lakers? Is that what I hear you say?
Hell no.
Yo. Oh shoot.
And this guy has been failing for years. Nobody says anything. He just go from job to job like it's okay. It's not okay, Doc Rivers.
Yo, Rodney called him a bad coach and a bad father. God.
Yo, that's terrible, yo.
What else, Rodney?
You seen the little Rivers boy out there? He on another team. He doing good now. He got a better coach.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. You know, this is like a
The
comedian.
little Rivers boy.
Yo, this is like a comedian blaming the host because he bombed. It's like you
Well,
can't
it's
blame
not,
the
Fig.
host.
It's not.
You out there yourself. You're a player.
Well, the host did.
The player.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. You're absolutely right, Fig.
None.
You're absolutely right. You're right. Doc Rivers is a loser.
Okay. Well, speaking of people that have horrible sons, Uncle Ronnie, I just want to come back to you real quick on this. Vince Wilfork's son has pled guilty to stealing the Patriot Star Super Bowl rings. He pled guilty on April 20th to stealing his father's Super Bowl rings. DeAndre Holmes Wilfork stole over $400,000 worth of jewelry, including Wilfork's 2 Super Bowl rings, several AFC championship rings, and his 2001 Miami Hurricanes national championship ring, and sold it without his father's permission for approximately $65,000 when it's worth over $400,000. Uncle Rodney, is this just another case of father failure?
Not father failure. Like as parents, man, you do your best to instill values in your children, and this is proof that we as parents fail. I mean, you give them every opportunity, and your child can still look at you and tell you made a mistake, or you didn't get him enough time, enough energy, or whatever. And it's also a telltale sign of drug abuse. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see, down the line with this same story that there's some drugs involved.
All right, Talent. If Talent Jr. stole,
it sounds crackish for me.
Okay, he's reading crack. I want to go to the resident drug expert and father. Talent. What do you think if Talent Jr. stole like your microphone, or just decided to just do your whole shtick, and he stole like your hats and your merchandising? You got a show on the weekend that you're going to sell at least $2,000 in merch. On a scale of what the hell is wrong with you to come identify the body, how bad would you whip your son's ass for stealing $400,000 and selling it for $65,000?
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna whip his ass for stealing it, because that's adolescence. That's young man shit. We steal stuff from our parents because it's our parents and we think we can't. What I am gonna do is whoop the math teacher's ass. Yeah. If you sell some worth a couple of $100,000 for $65,000, I'm taking you with me. I'm calling my own impromptu PTA meeting. I'm whooping your ass next to the math teacher. All right, and then I'm gonna tell y'all to do the equation on some construction paper, and I want to see the work. Remember the math teacher?
Show you work.
See the work.
You can't just give me the answer. Let me see the work. That's what's gonna happen. Math teacher gets ass whooped because that he's right. Rodney's right. That's crackish.
Yeah. So long division.
He definitely forgot to carry the one.
Long division on the crackish behavior. Mike Sean, what say you, sir, about Vince Wilfork's son stealing $400,000 worth of jewelry, selling it for $65,000 without his father's permission?
This is all his father. This is his father's fault. He shouldn't have left it out. Number one. When I go over my mom's house, there is no alcohol left laying around the house because she know me.
Not a drop.
Not a drop. Nothing just left wide open, all willy-nilly. Bottles of Ciroc, nothing like that. Like, I'm a crackhead, and you're gonna leave $400,000 worth of jewelry in that's accessible. Wow. And number two on the math. Let's be clear. This kid, the crackhead math was perfect. $65,000 to a crackhead is $200 million, y'all. That is literally wow. That man, you over a crackhead $65,000 for anything they're selling it. I don't care if it's live people. They're selling you everything for $65,000. It's sad. It's crazy. Like Rodney said, it sounds like there's some drug issues going on in here. And, we make light of it, but we make light of it because a lot of us have been part of it. And we've been around people who have suffered through shit like that. And, I've got people that I dearly love who are not allowed in my house. And I'm not being funny, that I truly love, who are not allowed to be anywhere near my household or anything that's valuable. And it sucks.
Okay, well, Fig, according to Michael Sean, this is like leaving a Girl Scout troop in the watchful eyes of R. Kelly. Vince Wilfork's to blame for his son stealing his $400,000 worth of jewelry?
I need a moment of silence. I want y'all to listen. Did you hear that?
That's the bell. That's the bell.
That's a ruler.
Hey, all I'm going to say is this. I had a crackhead in the family, and anytime he came to the house, we couldn't make grits because he kept putting his fingers in it. Now, anybody know where crackhead is?
What?
Just nasty.
Yeah, the show just took a huge turn.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I'm putting your fingers in the grits. That's just disgusting. The name of the show is
Boxing. Need the stuff.
The leather conditioner. If you're putting the leather conditioner in the grits, just throw them out. Give them to the folks who had the water poisoning.
And it was also Vince Wilfork's fault because his fat ass. He probably robbed him in front of him. He just couldn't get up to stop him.
Hilarious.
This is exactly why I'm in the gym every day, because Michael Sean is a fattest. He has a thing against fat people.
I've been 220 pounds. I know what it is to be fat. I know. I got the pictures.
I missed that series of your life because for the 30 years
220 is like a great physique. Actually.
Look, I'm 5 foot. Yeah, I'm 5'2". Like,
well, maybe you need the leather stretcher. Rodney, FedEx him the leather stretcher. Stretch his ass out. Listen, I don't know if you know this or not. Jacksonville Jaguars left tackle Cam Robinson have reached an agreement for a 3-year contract extension worth $54 million. A league source confirmed on Wednesday. Robinson was set to play the 2022 season on the franchise tag of a guaranteed $16.7 million, and instead will make $18 million annually through 2024. Talent, good deal or not?
Good deal. Good deal. Absolutely good deal. Anytime you could, like Rodney said, stretch that thing out. You was about to get 16 one time. You got 18 3-4 times. Anytime you can stretch it out, it's a good deal for the player. I mean, the team, y'all do what y'all got to do. I'm looking out for the homie. I want him to be all right. So he done traded the 1 year, 3 more years, which totals 4. Good for him.
Yes, indeed. Uncle Rodney, that comes out to a 3-year, $54 million extension. Did the Jacksonville Jaguars spend too much money on Cam Robinson?
Probably. But these football contracts are real slippery. Mm-hmm. So he probably won't realize the top of that contract anyway. And for those of you that are I just got a text that one of our friends has passed away.
Gooch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Rest in peace, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed.
Damn.
Yeah, I got that this morning, man. Gooch, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's been dealing with diabetes for quite some time now. And if you don't know him, was a great guy. Great improv guy. He helped Guy Torrey with Fat Tuesdays and all that stuff over the years. And he's been in an ongoing battle with his diabetes, and he's been losing limbs left and right. And, he lost some toes, foot, ankle. He had lost it.
Shut up, Rodney. Right. Okay, Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning has launched a scholarship to honor former Broncos teammate Demaryius Thomas. He's launching a brand new scholarship fund. It's called the Demaryius Thomas Endowment through his foundational Wednesday. Why did he list the limbs and appendages? This is the problem with Rodney. Anyway, listen. So Peyton Manning has awarded these academic scholarships. They're going to be coming to incoming freshmen from Lawrence County, Georgia, where Thomas grew up. Thomas died in December. He was 33. Good thing for Peyton.
I want y'all to laugh at me when I'm gone, fellas. Laugh at me when I'm gone.
Let me tell you something. Peyton Manning is my favorite quarterback of all time, and before him it was Montana. But Rodney's an ass. Whenever comic leads you up to that thing that they ain't supposed to say, and just sit there and go, like that's so crazy right there. Anyway, rest in peace to Gooch. Rest in peace to D Thomas out there. I think it's a great thing. But one thing Peyton has shown us especially since he's left the game, is that he stayed connected in all the right ways, man. That's my favorite quarterback of all time, because he cares about the game, and I think we're gonna see a lot more of him over the years. Instead of going off into the sunset, I think commentating is just the tip of the iceberg of where he's gonna take it. And the family seems like that kind of family that put their money to good use like this.
I'm mad at that. Fig, what do you think about Peyton Manning's latest endeavor?
Man, listen, I had the pleasure of doing a MasterCard commercial with Peyton Manning. He was also one of my favorite quarterbacks, man. Omaha, baby, yeah. Omaha. That's my dude, man. He's just a talented dude on and off the field. Excellent quarterback. Funny guy on camera and doing commercial skits and stuff like that. And now we see that he has a heart as big as his arm was when he was young, man. Philanthropic. Can't say nothing bad about the dude. And he comes from a football family where the name is royalty, man. Dope dude, man. Love Peyton Manning, man.
Amazing. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm just going to move forward because we are at the 45-minute mark right now.
Real quick. Fuck Peyton Manning. All right, go ahead.
Do you have any particular reasons why you say the hell with Peyton
I used
Manning?
to love watching Peyton Manning lose. I would love when he would audible for 12 minutes and still get sacked. I loved it. I love against the Broncos when he was down by 60. He was still audibling, and his offensive line was like, for what? What do we order? It's 30-0. Like, stop. Peyton Manning's the only quarterback that would fall on purpose before he got hit and never got criticized. Like, dude would literally take a knee and be like, you can't hit me. Man, I'm not going to say F again, but F Peyton Manning. F.
Gotcha. Well, let's see here. The Tennessee Titans have exercised their fifth-year option for defensive lineman Jeffrey Simmons. That locks him in for 2023 at $10.7 million, which is fully guaranteed. This was expected. Simmons, the 19th overall choice in 2019, coming off his first Pro Bowl and made second-team All-Pro. Talent.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think he has the name of a person that steals from your house.
Jeffrey Simmons?
Anybody know what happened to the jury in the room? Well, Jeffrey. Jeffrey was over. I told you not to let Jeff. Yeah, Jeffrey was over.
Yeah, true that.
So Jeff got it. No, good look. I like this. I think it's a good look. You know what I mean? Here's the thing about the NFL, bro. Anytime you can do something, I don't care if it's 1 year, 6 months, anything towards the future in the NFL, you got to stress how good that is. You know what I mean? So, good, kudos to Jeff. Come on back, baby. Do what you got to do. Have a great season coming up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Uncle Rodney, do you think that this is an indicator of a big trade on the horizon?
I don't know. That's an interesting point, Bully. Is this an indicator of a trade? I mean, there's always people moving around, especially when you start talking about these type of monies and deals and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I'll say short answer, yes.
All right. Okay. Fig, what's your take on this move?
Man, these guys, these NFL teams be moving players like they chess pieces on the board, man. You can't make heads or tails of it. At the end of the day, if it's not Super Bowl worthy, man.
Okay. All right, Michael Sean.
You know, I think our squares, we've done our best to try not to say, we don't know who this dude is. Like,
I'm looking them up.
And I know we're trying to delve into like deep sports. But I Googled him and I found out his name is Jeffrey Bernard Simmons Jr. He's an American football defensive end for the Tennessee Titans. I don't know, people. Like, I'm not a GM. I'm not a scout. I'm a comedian. I don't know who Jeffrey Simmons is. Like,
I thought I said that when I said he sound like his brother.
He sound like it.
yes.
Well,
He's Russell Simmons' cousin.
Is he?
oh my God. No!
He's Richard Simmons' godson. I don't know, like, but and I'm sure he's important. I'm sure he plays a vital role for the Tennessee Titans. And I love that Business Bully even doubled down. He said, do you think this could be something of a trade coming up? We don't know. We don't know if a trade is coming up or if he's going to refinance his mortgage. We don't know.
Well, that's enough for Jeffrey. If you don't know who Jeffrey is, he's the guy that makes you rub the fur.
Listen, refinancing your mortgage right now is not a good play. The interest rate, no, anyway.
No, it is a bad time.
It's a horrible time, actually. He's not lying. From a business perspective, it really is too. Fig has been studied. He must have been taking a business bully course. Listen, the Broncos are signing quarterback Donnie Lewis and wide receiver Trey Quinn to their 90-man roster. Lewis was a Browns 7th-round pick in 2019, spent a couple years on the practice squad before moving to Cincinnati. He didn't appear in any regular season games for the Bengals either and was released last season. Quinn was the final pick of the 2018 draft by Washington and caught 35 passes for 273 yards and 2 touchdowns in 15 games for the team. He played 1 game for the Jaguars in 2020 and failed to make the Raiders last summer. Fig, do we not need to go to Michael Sean's Google report? What do you got?
Donnie Lewis. I think he used to sing with the 5 heartbeats.
Oh my God! I got nothing but love for you.
We don't know who Donnie Lewis
Michael Sean with the Google report. Here we go.
Donnie Lewis Jr. is an American football quarterback
I got Wikipedia.
for the Denver Broncos of the National Football League. His actually birthday was July 21st. He's 25. I think you mentioned in his resume that he was the last pick in the draft. Like, how am I supposed to know this guy if he was?
Listen,
I think you're reading the wrong Google, Mike. I got it right here. Donnie Simpson worked for BET from 1997 to
Donnie Lewis.
Huh?
Donnie Lewis, not Donnie Simpson.
Not Video Soul, Donnie Lewis.
Okay,
My
Donnie
bad.
Lewis. Okay, my bad. It says Donnie Lewis ran a famous telethon.
I think you're looking for Ananda Lewis, who was also on BET, and she was quite attractive back in the day, and she will be sorely missed.
Well, here you go, right here. Here you go, right here. Buddy Lewis did BET Comic View 6 years, seasons in a row. He writes for Husbands of Hollywood and other projects.
No. I think it's actually this guy, Donnie Brasco.
You know what?
Yes.
This is why. Listen, we got a brand new opening here at Box Seats on the Humor Mill for producers to pull stories because apparently the Google report is taking over. Now, I know that everybody knows who this person is. Gentlemen.
I would have rather talk about Peyton Manning for 7 more minutes.
Yeah, I didn't even do that. Like, I'm down. I'm down.
I'm going to give you guys an alley-oop. Baker Mayfield, does he get traded today? Talent.
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't want to play second fiddle. He definitely understands Cleveland. Do they have to trade him today?
They don't have to.
Well, the draft is tonight, so it's more likely that people will make something happen tonight. Here's the thing: I heard that
won't it happen after the draft?
The new league, the new football league, they're in the draft too. They kick in on the 3rd round.
Really?
No. Hate him so much. Fig, does Baker Mayfield get traded today?
I don't think so because I think funny enough, the Browns don't want him, but they don't want to give him up for nothing. So I think what they're going to do, they're going to hold on to Baker Mayfield until another quarterback on another team gets injured, and then they could get, a boatload of stuff for Baker Mayfield because they lowered the kid's value. You know what I mean? You talk crap about your car, and then you try and sell your car for top dollar. That ain't gonna work. And say, transmission ain't no good, and the engine, it gets messed up every now and then and stuff like that. But I want $10,000. You can't get $10,000 for a car with a messed up transmission and engine. You get down now. So now you got to hold on to your car until somebody else's car break down, and then your car will be more valuable to them.
Former beer aficionado and Google analyst Michael Sean, what do you think? Baker Mayfield traded or no?
I think if he doesn't get traded by the draft, that he's a wrap for the rest of the season. But they said his trade value is going down so low that the options are being traded for two players, Donnie Lewis Jr. and Jeffrey Simmons. They said that would be a deal that's straight up. They would just take those two players. And he would go. It would be a 2-for-1 that they say in the business, a 2-for-1.
If it's a straight up deal, they're gonna throw in Paul Abdul.
That's
they're gonna trade Baker Mayfield for Donnie Simpson, Ron Jeremy, and Seiko.
And real quick, sidebar, no segue. What is this history behind the second fiddle? Why does nobody want to play second fiddle? Like, what
because
is it
second fiddle makes half as much money as the first chair.
Okay.
Is that true?
Yes.
Was that true? Is there a story behind that? Was there a guy?
No, I mean just generally, what happens in an orchestra, the person that sits in the first chair is the most experienced. He's the highest rank. He's the person that they're there to see. The second fiddle is like the bench, so nobody wants to play second fiddle, second clarinet, second trumpet.
Oh.
So there you go.
If I go to a symphony and there's a fiddle involved, I think I want my money back. I don't know.
I think a fiddle is actually a violin.
It's violin.
But once you start calling it a fiddle, you got to be in.
You're at a square there.
Let me translate what Dave just said. So Rodney, if you do get into the adult film business, you will make less than me. That's what he's saying. So I go in there.
Thank you for clearing it up for me.
Yeah. So if you come into there and I put you down, coming behind me, second fiddle is a little less. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta open that first, Uncle Rodney. You gotta open.
Yeah, for some reason, when you bring in porn, second fiddle sounds traumatizing. Like, I don't know why. It sounds a lot
like a
worse.
very disturbing Patrice O'Neal joke.
It's not as bad as a fluffer. I can tell you that much.
Fluffers' rights matter. Those ladies work very hard and get none of the glory because they're ugly in the face usually, but phenomenal at their job.
That's true. That's true.
Real quick, Frank, before we wrap up here at the box seats, you've been watching. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to everybody who has been talking. Hey, Trina. Hey, Sharonda. We see you out there. Listen, I want to bring up a point because when I do this show and I say certain things, 90% of you laugh at me like I'm stupid, but the truth of the matter is I'm psychic. I told you last week, Tyson Fury was going to wind up in the WWE, and we have several unconfirmed reports that he will be showing up in the WWE as early as SummerSlam.
They all do.
Wow.
I'm just saying. But
it's a great financial.
That was a great call. That was a great call. Well done, Bully.
Mike Tyson was there. Floyd Mayweather was there. It's all
female boxer, two-time Olympian Clarissa Shields went into MMA also, man. I just saw a video of her.
MMA and WWE is two different things, though.
Huh? Oh yeah.
MMA and WWE is two different things.
I was trying to justify the WWE by calling it wrestling. My apology.
Yeah, they said Jeffrey Simmons denied the invite. I don't know.
Vince McMahon just wanted to put him in concessions. That's why Jeffrey Simmons had denied the invite. All right, fellas, a phenomenal show. Woo! Happy to be here. Thank you
Great
so
job,
much.
Bully.
I'm trying to do my best here. Listen, Talent, tell everybody how they can find you, sir.
You can find me in the incredible shrinking seat over there. That seat, let me tell you something. You are doing your thing, boy. You getting smaller and smaller. That man, listen, boy, in a minute you ain't gonna be able to play video games. So listen, you can find me, Talent the Comedian, on Instagram. It's just comedy on Twitter. King Talent Harris on Facebook. Boxing, baby, Monday through Friday.
Rodney Perry, tell everybody where they can get a hold of you, my friend.
Easy to find Rodney Perry live on all social media. All jokes aside, rest in peace, Gooch, man.
Yes, Gooch.
Yeah,
Gooch. Absolutely.
Hit me up at Mike Sean Comedy. Rest in peace to Gooch and everybody. Please, y'all. We're all getting older. Please take care of your health as best as you possibly can.
Comedian Fig, let them know.
At all comedian platforms, Comedian Fig. I'd like to join the rest of the group saying, rest in peace, Gooch. You will be missed. And Business Bully, you did a great job sitting in that chair looking like the great Gazoo. You are getting small.
Thank you, Dum Dum. Listen, follow me at follow me at Business Bully TV. Make sure that you check out the Box Seats Live, 1 o'clock Eastern and then 3 o'clock again on the Humor Mill app. If you have not gotten it and checked out the Humor Mill magazine with talent on the digital cover, do so immediately. We will see you next time. Thank you so much for Rodney Perry, talent, comedian Fig, Mike Sean Comedy. I'm Dave Anderson. Peace.